Hello, and welcome to this episode of Video Marketing for Startups. I'm your host, Renee Thiele, and joining me today is Tim Schmoyer from Video Creators. Today we're going to talk all about how to actually use YouTube to drive people to your own branded website where you can convert them into paying customers. All that and more coming up right after this. So you've been in the YouTube space for a long time now, primarily helping YouTube creators and then also helping them turn their YouTube presence into a business.
Yeah.
So for startup companies, what's your advice to help them use YouTube to actually pull their, to effectively use YouTube to get people to their own branded site?
Yeah, the mistake a lot of brands make is they want like a video to go big, get a ton of views. They want it to like really grow a community. They want it to be highly shareable. They want to get a lot of traction on Reddit. They want to get a lot of like traffic over to their website. And so rather than having multiple goals that are sometimes conflicting with each other, let's just talk about like a strategy that has like a specific goal for each individual video. The way I think about that normally is breaking it down into like 3 basic buckets or categories for content. Okay. So the first one would be discoverable content. And here the goal is to get people who have never heard of the brand before to find this video and they're clicking and watching because the title and the thumbnail tease a story or they pitch some value that someone in that target audience that the brand's going after would be like, ooh, I need to watch this, and they'll click
your brand
and they'll watch
awareness
that.
sort of video.
Yeah, it's just like they don't know who the brand is yet. They just know that they want the value that is being teased. And so they click and watch. And you do not want to try to get people from a discoverable video over to your website yet, because one of the things that Google looks for is they really want to promote content that keeps people on YouTube longer, right? So if your video is effectively sending people away from YouTube, that video won't be discoverable for that much longer, because YouTube's like, if we surface this video, instead of them staying on YouTube for another 30 minutes, they only stay on for another 2 minutes. So let's not surface that one, right? The main call to action though of a discoverable video is to get people to subscribe to the channel, or it's to get people to watch another video and increase the session time. It's a great signal for Google that they look for, saying like, oh, this video got someone to watch a whole playlist of videos. So let's surface this video to everyone we think this video is relevant for. The second bucket is community content, and this is where you're trying to grow the know, like, and trust factors a little bit more intentionally, but it's not intended to like be super discoverable. This is when you're just talking to the people who are already there in your channel. So you make this, it can be like a pretty low key video. It doesn't have to have all the production quality of like a big one, but it's just gonna like, this is for the people who have already said subscribe. I want to see what you're about and get to know you a little bit better. And the main call to action there is to comment, to engage, to interact in some way, and to really grow like that human connection with the brand.
So what I found is for businesses specifically, so primarily for B2B companies, it's very hard for people to get someone to comment and interact with your video in some way. So do you have some tips to help B2B companies get people to interact with their videos? Yeah,
so this is going to sound corny. I think it's a little bit overdone, but I still believe that B2B at the end of the day is still people to people, you know? But I believe that because like it's not a corporation who's watching these videos, it's people who are watching the videos. They work at corporations, but they're still people who are watching. And so just because they work at a corporation doesn't mean that they won't engage with something online, right? So I think the things that really help spark engagement overall would be things like, and this might sound a little risky, but like standing for something, right? Like the biggest companies have like a belief or a creed behind, this is why we do what we do, this is what we're about, follow us or don't follow us. And I'm not saying you need to do that, but having something that we're standing for, it's hard for anyone to like want to stand up with you and engage with you if you're not standing for anything. People just don't engage with like a report, you know?
Yeah.
Or like when you're just talking about yourself, like in a testimonial or something, right? It's just like, oh, good for you. I don't need to respond to this, right?
I think that's a really good tip though, and I've seen this work really well, and I've seen it completely fall flat for some companies when they're taking a stand on something. And I think the key to it being effective is communicating the why. So you take a stand, but then you explain why you feel the way that you do.
Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a divisive stand. It's just like, this is what we're about. This is what we believe. This is what we do. And the company, to be successful, has a value proposition. So it's standing for something already. It just needs to like communicate that, not be like, you're for us or against us, you know, whatever that was. I don't know. But it's not about doing that. Yeah. The third video, and this is where we're actually going to start like seeing the traction come over, is what I call the sales video. And so just like a good email marketing campaign where you have the lead magnet / discoverable content that brought people in, and then you have follow-up campaigns that grow the know, like, and trust factors with someone who just subscribed to the email sequence, then eventually that leads into a sales email where you kind of capitalize on what the discoverable and the community content did, right? So in a sales video, it's basically the same as like a community video, but with the primary call to action, rather than being to comment, the primary call to action is to actually go click this link in the description of the video, or click this card that pops up around here. That's when you're just like getting people over to your website. Those types of videos don't always rank that well, but that's okay, because the goal here is to bring people in with other content, establish the human connection, and then convert on that with the sales video. And so it could just be a simple video where you're just like, hey guys, it's been great to see you. Been hanging out for a few weeks. We've been talking about this and the other thing. Been awesome. One of the main questions you guys give me is this: how to do this one thing. We have a whole series on that. Click the link in the description below. I really want to like give this to you guys because it's really going to make a difference in your business, what you're doing. Click that, go get it, and we'll see. Like, you know, just something simple like that's the primary action, is to get them to convert on that. That video pass through the subscription feed, and maybe a week from now it's no longer getting any views, but that's okay because it accomplished what it's supposed to accomplish, and you're still bringing people in with the evergreen content.
Great. Yeah, those are all really good tips, and it sounds like the strategy for using YouTube for your business is very similar to what you would typically do with a nurture campaign. And so when you're bringing people in who don't know you, they've subscribed to an email list, you don't start selling them right away. They have to get to know you. You have to build up that know, like, and trust factor with them before you try to get them to buy a product in some way. And you're communicating the value of not only the product, but of your company.
Yeah, so no one does like one email that's supposed to like get people in and have all those goals and engage and respond and buy all this stuff. Same thing with video. Just think about it. And so like if you're just getting started, maybe, I don't know, 80% discoverable, 15% community, and 5% of your content is going to be sales, just as a very rough start. And then you can tweak those numbers as you grow and you're getting more watch time. And then eventually you get to some of these channels just like 100% community because they've already have all the relational equity built with their audience that they need to just get the watch time they need on. Doesn't even matter what they publish anymore, right? So it takes some work to get there, but that's eventually where it goes.
Great. So those are all great tips. To lead the audience with one last thing, is there just one tip that you have for companies that are just getting started with their YouTube strategy?
I would say don't talk about yourself, talk about your customer. You know, don't like, look how awesome we are and this is what we've accomplished and look at all these things and here's what our customers are saying about us and blah, blah, blah. You want to make your customer the hero of your company's story and talk about them in that way, and that'll go much better for you than trying to be the cool kid on class, I guess, or whatever. That got awkward right at the end, but you know what I'm saying.
No, that's perfect. I think that tip is gold. I think so many companies on social media in general, not just YouTube, just talk about themselves, and they kind of forget who they're there for, and it's their customers. And really, you should be talking about your customers and, you know, give them a reason to care and to go to your website. No
one wants to go to a party and talk to someone who only talks about themselves the whole time. You know, it's just kind of like, all right, someone else to talk to, you know.
Absolutely. So thank you again for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
These were great tips. Thank you again for watching this episode of Video Marketing for Startups. For those of you who haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on LinkedIn to receive my latest episodes packed full of information to help you with video marketing for your business. Thanks again for watching, and happy marketing.